All right. Hey. How y'all doing today? Hope y'all doing good, staying well, staying healthy, all that great stuff, man. And hey. You see that? You see these two? Yeah, you know what I mean? We got Instagram, you feel me? And YouTube, man. That's my Instagram. That's my second YouTube channel right there. You feel me? Matt back at it. I post basketball content on there. My reactions on basketball, like that's all basketball, man. All basketball. All my basketball content, it's gonna be on that channel. You know what I mean? So feel free to join that squad. Now maybe you want to. But yeah, I'm gonna have these always here. We're never doing reactions like this if it's not edited. You know what I mean? Unedited reactions. But listen, you have read the title right, man. I will be choosing an NHL team. I see the comments all the time. People ask me, Matt, what NHL team you going for? Matt, what NHL team have you chosen to root? Matt, who are you following this season? Matt, who's your NHL team? Matt, there's no way you react to all this hockey and don't have an NHL team to follow. So we are going to learn about these teams. You feel me? I gave, a couple of videos ago saying that I might go with my home team, you know what I mean? Because you root for your home team, man, you know what I mean? Now, obviously, I don't know the Hurricanes like that. I don't know. I didn't even know. I'm going to keep it a buck. I didn't even know North Carolina got a team. You feel me? But looking at searching up the teams on Google and stuff, Hurricanes in Carolina. So I saw that. I was like, yo, I might as well go for hey, man, I'm from North Carolina, Greensboro. You feel me? I met supporting, you know what I mean, teams in my hometown, right? So the Hornets, all that type of stuff. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm a pure Hornets fan, you know what I mean? But I'm a Hornets fan because that's my hometown. You feel what I mean? So yeah. So before I make that, I guess, you know, certified that I'm going to root for the Hurricanes, than other than all the other teams, we're gonna learn about this, and let's get straight to it, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to this dude right here. Daggone. How long is this? 30 minutes. Dag. Oh, I better not pause. Shout out to this dude. His name is Twisted Wrister Hockey. For me, so shout out to this dude right here. I'm not gonna lie. This might be the most informative video you're gonna have me react to, cause with informative videos, man, I feel like I'm in school, bro. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm on a desk just watching a PowerPoint. But let's get straight to it, man.
Best to my abilities to tell you why you should cheer for that favorite team. All right, team number one. I don't even know who these are. The Edmonton Oilers. All right, that's this team.
The Oilers
right behind me. So the Oilers.
Connor McDavid's on there, man. You know what I mean? Him and his teammate. I gotta react to him. Leon, his last name start with a D. I can't pronounce his last name, but Leon, y'all want me to react to him. You know what I mean? Y'all said he's tough, so yeah. But I believe Connor McDavid's on that squad.
Won 5 Stanley
Look at me, man. Hey, you know what I mean? No, I ain't gonna pause too much. Hopefully, I don't. You know what I mean? Go back on my word. But when I choose a team after this, please do not think I'm gonna be an official hockey head that I'm gonna watch. I'm a basketball head. Y'all know basketball is my first passion. That's my sport. That's my first sport. Now always be my first sport. You know what I mean? But I don't even keep up with the NBA season like that. You feel me? So please don't expect me to just know everything going on in NHL. I'm gonna try my best to keep up. I'm gonna try my best, man. So many things. I could try my best, right? But that does not mean I'm gonna be an official hockey head. I'm gonna know every player to every game to, you know what I mean, who won the night before, all that. Listen, that's not what this channel is about. You feel me? This channel is really about entertainment, reacting to the flashy things. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to convert this channel into a full-on hockey head channel. That's not what this channel's about. If you thought you was here for that, I apologize, but that's not what this channel's about. You feel me? So I just want to put that up in the air, and yeah, let's get back to it.
Between I think 1984 and 1990, they have the two best players in the NHL, arguably, in Connor McDavid and the German native Leon Draisaitl. So if you want to watch just some of the absolute best talent in the NHL, the Oilers are certainly a team to cheer for. They've been to one Stanley Cup final since 1990, so the fans have been waiting kind of a while for them to kind of resurrect that sort of legacy that they've had over the years. They've been a little up and down this season, but they should still be very competitive in the next couple of years with players like Draisaitl and McDavid. That doesn't mean that they don't have holes in their lineup, though. The next team I pulled is actually the newest team in the NHL, and that's the Seattle Kraken. I've actually been to a game there. It was a decent experience, I would have to say, but as the team gets more competitive, I think that atmosphere is going to get a lot more intense. Yeah, it's their first season, and usually expansion teams aren't that good. Seattle has been playing better recently, I have to say. Seattle is...
That's A. I mess with the
definitely
color.
A beautiful city. There's a lot of fun things to see and do there. I've been there a number of times myself, and I think that once this whole COVID thing goes away, hopefully it does, Seattle will open up more, and it'll be a lot more entertaining to visit there, I have to say. So if you're willing to wait a couple of seasons for this team to be good, that'll be worthwhile, I would have to say. And again, it's just in a beautiful part of the country as well. All right, next team is the St. Louis Blues. So they were formed in 1967, and it took them, I think, 52 years to win their first Stanley Cup. They won it recently in 2019. Now, this team could actually win another Stanley Cup, or at least contend for one in the next couple of seasons.
They won one in 2019. The Blues. Okay.
Just good fundamental pieces to their
I'm going to try to remember all these teams, y'all. It's going to take me a minute.
St. Louis fans are great sports fans in general. They have the Blues for hockey, and they have the
we already got three.
Also for baseball. And yeah, Middle America, there's great Louis fans are great sports fans in general. They have the Blues for hockey, and they have the Cardinals also for baseball. And yeah, Middle America.
That's tough. No basketball. That's tough. No basketball. I know there's no basketball. Obviously, there's no NBA team over there, but that's tough.
There's great ribs in St. Louis, I hear. I've just driven through it, basically. And it's certainly one of the more historic franchises out there. Maybe not as many Stanley Cups as some other teams I'll talk about, but certainly a very passionate fan base, I would have to say. All right, next up, the second newest team in the NHL, the Vegas Golden Knights. So they came into the NHL in 2017. They've got great jerseys, great branding, and really the reason to choose for them would be if you like productions, if you like things that are just taken to a level that you wouldn't expect. That is certainly the way that the franchise is run. The arena experience is certainly like that with, they have a drum line. They have celebrities there like Little John and Gordon Ramsay. They have basically medieval times on ice with like people dressed up in regalia and like battling each other and that sort of thing. So a lot of people have been drawn to them over the last few years. They made the Stanley Cup final in their first season. And the thing is, they've been really chasing a cup final the past few years. And so they're expected to kind of be at that contender status for the next couple of years. But I think they could certainly fall off after that just because of how much they've been sort of spending on players recently. Next team we've got here are the Pittsburgh Penguins. Man, if you want to talk about
Sidney Crosby, okay.
I agree. This team has it in spades because they've been winning Stanley Cups since 1991. They've won 5 since then, the most of any team in the NHL. They've drafted several generational players in the form of course, Mario Lemieux and Jaromir Jagr in the 1980s and 90s, and then Sidney Crosby.
Lemieux did play, yeah.
And right now,
to have Mario Lemieux and then Sidney Crosby right after, that's like having Michael Jordan and Kobe drafted on that squad to the Bulls. Feel me? Like, that's legendary.
Even as Malkin and Crosby approach kind of the last few years of their career, the Penguins are still finding ways to be competitive and get in the playoff picture, so their overall run very, very well. Pittsburgh's certainly a passionate sports market for both the Penguins and also the Steelers, and yeah, those black and yellow jerseys look fantastic, and who doesn't like Penguins other than Flyers fans? All right, next up, this team right here, the Calgary Flames. So the Flames are very close to Edmonton. We talked about the Oilers earlier, and that Battle of Alberta is something that certainly is due to ignite in the next couple of years. They've met in the playoffs in the 1980s as well, and the Flames are kind of I don't know, they've won a Stanley Cup before, but they've always kind of played second fiddle to the Edmonton Oilers. Hopefully these guys get a new arena in the next few years because they certainly do need that. Calgary's supposed to be a really fun town. They have the rodeo every year, which draws people from all over the country, if not the continent. And yeah, they just are kind of a team that falls under the radar in the grand scheme of the National Hockey League, I would have to say. All right, next up, we've got, the Florida Panthers. If you want to hop on the bandwagon, now is the time. They haven't won a playoff series since 1996 when they went on this miraculous run to the Stanley Cup final. But this team based in South Florida over the past few years has assembled one of the most exciting hockey teams I've seen just in recent history, I would have to say, with players like Jonathan Huberdeau, Sasha Barkov, Anton Lundell, this new rookie of theirs, Mackenzie Weegar, Aaron Ekblad. These guys can run and gun. They can put up 6 goals a game. They can score at will. So if you want offense, this is the team to cheer for. Of course, as I mentioned, you'd be kind of falling on the bandwagon, but these guys still have a lot to prove. They have to win a playoff series out there, and I myself am very excited.
Respect, but I don't think y'all gonna ever see me read anything about Florida. I ain't gonna lie. Florida's a great city. Miami, Florida's a great state. Miami's a great city. You feel me? Orlando. But yeah, I'm not rooting for no team in Florida. I'm gonna keep it up.
To watch to see what they can do this upcoming postseason. Next up, we have the Washington Capitals. This is simple. If you have any Russian ties, root for this team. Alex Ovechkin is going to be there for a few more years.
So Ovechkin is in the Capitals. Heard you. Now, if I choose one team, because y'all know I mess with Ovechkin. You know what I mean? Could I support him too? Like an NBA? You feel me? I'm a root for the Hornets. That's my hometown. You know what I mean? If Hornets make to the finals, I'm more than happy. You feel me? But James Harden is my favorite player, right? And he's on the Philadelphia Sixers. You feel me? So James Harden make it to the final. I'm happy too. You feel me? LeBron make it. I'm happy. So it's like I'm rooting for multiple players, but I also got if I were to choose one team, I'm choosing my hometown team. If that makes sense. You feel me? So if I support people like Chris Paul, Devin Booker, that doesn't make me a Phoenix Suns fan. I'm just a Chris Paul, Devin Booker fan. You feel what I mean? So, maybe that could be the same with him, where you know what I mean? I mess with Ovechkin, right?
Greatest goal scorer of all time. And in the next, I would say, 3 years, he should break Wayne Gretzky's record for the most NHL goals in the history of the league. So definitely
that's with Crosby too. For me, McDavid, really the top 3 guys. I mean, how can I not mess with them? You know what I mean? How can I not
choose to cheer for this team? I love the Capitals because I've always been a fan of some of the players on their team besides Ovechkin.
Trevor Zegras,
Kuznetsov, there's another Russian there. TJ Oshie, an American hockey hero, is one of my favorites of all time as well. Now this team is still.
But I'm gonna keep this one on the radar for the rest of the video. So we got. So I'm thinking Capitals. Yeah, that's what's been so far. Either Capitals or Hurricanes so far.
Competitive. They are a perennial playoff team. They won their first Stanley Cup in 2018, by the way. They could fall off in a couple of years though, because some of those players are getting a little bit long in the tooth. But still a fun, fantastic atmosphere.
That's a new analogy right there, huh? Long in the tooth. I'm gonna use that. You know what I mean? These players nowadays are a little long in the tooth. All right, he's gonna stop. I'm gonna stop what I'm doing. I'm just gonna stop.
All of sports. It would be the Arizona Coyotes. These guys have just offloaded every single player that they've had almost in order to stockpile draft picks and hopefully in 5 years maybe make a deep playoff run. They've never made the Stanley Cup final, even though they've been around as a franchise. Almost 40 years now? They've had trouble selling out games for most of their time in Arizona.
That's
the
tough.
Next 3 seasons, they're actually going to be playing at Arizona State University, which only holds about 5,000 people. It'll be a new arena. I think it would be pretty fun to actually go to a game that's downsized that much at the NHL level. And then after that, they should have their new arena, although a lot of people want them to relocate to Houston or Quebec City or Kansas City. But hockey belongs in the desert, apparently, to the NHL. So if you like hot weather and you like underdogs to cheer for, and you don't just mind having a laugh and watching a game, even if your team's getting blown
Arizona,
out
not the place to be for me, bro.
That's the team to cheer for, apparently.
That's one hot.
All right, next up, we've got the Anaheim Ducks. So back in the 90s, of course, there was the Mighty Ducks trilogy of films, and of course the TV show now. The Anaheim Ducks right now don't really reflect that sort of brand as much. They do have an alternate jersey with that classic logo on there. The Ducks are going to be really exciting over the next couple of years. They're challenging for a
I literally thought
playoff spot.
Okay, I see it now. Okay, all right, I see it now. I literally thought they were gonna have a duck. Like, I really thought they were gonna have a duck on there, like
this year, which they certainly were not expected to be anywhere near that. They have some great young talents like Trevor Zegras. Yeah, if you want the human highlight reel in the NHL, he could be that next guy. Jamie Drysdale, Isaac Lundestrom, Maxime Comtois, just some of the other really good
Trevor's on
young
there.
Players for that team. They're right by Disneyland, so if you want just a few days of entertainment, go to a Ducks game, go to 2 of them. Go to Universal Studios in LA or go to a Kings game nearby and watch those 2 rivals go at each other. The Ducks are a lower key franchise to cheer for, I would say. They've won a Stanley Cup before in 2007. They've been run pretty well, I would say, since they came into the NHL in 1993. All right, next up. Yes, my team, the San Jose Sharks, a rival of the Anaheim Ducks and the Los Angeles Kings, based in Northern California, just a little bit south of San Francisco. The Sharks haven't won a Stanley Cup since they came into the NHL in 1991. There are plenty of memes of the team choking in the playoffs, I would have to say. But if we get into the playoffs as an underdog, we do have a reputation of completing some pretty stunning upsets. Again, we're kind of a smaller market team. We fly in under the radar. We don't get that much love compared to other teams in the Bay Area like the Giants and the Warriors and the 49ers. But man, Sharks fans are absolute diehards, even if there aren't as many of them. I've been to games, so many games, countless games over the years, and really I've made so many friends who are fans of this team. And of course, man, we're rocking the teal, the best color in the NHL. We've got a Shark just like charging through, chomping a hockey stick, not choking on it, guys. And so if you like Sharks, teal, the best intro in the NHL. They skate out of a freaking shark head, and in the playoffs you should see just how intense it can really be inside our arena, SAP Center, also called the Shark Tank. So you know where my vote is, Twisters. Next up, we got the Minnesota Wild, don't you know? So Minnesota coins itself as the state of hockey, the American state of hockey, and the Wild are a really exciting team to watch right now. Kirill Kaprizov, the 24-year-old Russian phenom,
remember Kaprizov.
A reason why over the last couple of years this franchise has really turned itself around. They're going to be competitive for a number of years. They've got just a great array of weapons and role players on that team. So I've really enjoyed watching the Wild turn things around and become one of the more exciting teams in the NHL. And the Wild are really just one of many attractions when it comes to hockey in Minnesota and sports in Minnesota. So they have this annual high school hockey tournament that is basically, God, it's like March Madness for hockey, really. So if you just want to become a big hockey fan in general, certainly following hockey in Michigan is one outlet for you, but definitely the state of hockey, Minnesota, is not a bad place to start either, don't you know? All right, next up, we got the Boston Bruins. So Boston is a crazy sports town. They love the Red Sox, the Patriots, and certainly those teams have won so many championships in recent memory.
Yeah, I'm cool on Boston.
Bruins have been pretty close in line with those teams because every year they're in the playoffs, they make a deep run, they always win a playoff round. Yeah, Boston fans can be a little crazy, for better and for worse. But
yeah. Oh yeah, you don't have to tell me twice, but Celtics fans could be what? But hey, one thing you could give them is they loyal. They loyal. You know what I mean? They loyal. They sit together. That's respect for sure. Well, I'm good.
I've been to a game before at TD Garden, a.k.a. The Garden. And yeah, it was a good time, absolutely. The black and yellow certainly is something that will attract a lot of people to that brand. And as an Original Six franchise, they've produced just several iconic players to the NHL, especially on defense with guys like Eddie Shore, Ray Bourque, and of course Bobby Orr. There's a statue of him flying through the air outside of TD Garden. So if you like history, if you like passionate sports markets, this is not a bad team to cheer for.
Boston got a lot of history, bro. That's a fact.
At all. Next up, we have the Columbus Blue Jackets. These guys have only won one playoff series since they came into the NHL in 2000. But It was one of the greatest upsets in sports history when they beat the Tampa Bay Lightning, who had tied an NHL record, I believe, for points in a season. So the Blue Jackets fly in under the radar. They're in a smaller market in Columbus, which is known more so for its college football. But man, if you like cannons, yes, if you like the sound of a thundering cannon every time this team scores a goal, you should cheer for them because they have a great spectacle in such moments. All right, next up we have the Winnipeg Jets. So if you like the bitter cold and the prairie, I guess Winnipeg is for you. It's a very small arena there of only about 15,000 people, but Jets fans get nuts, especially in the playoffs. There's a great tradition called the Winnipeg Whiteout where all the fans dress up in white. Some of them even paint their faces or spray paint their hair or whatever. So these guys are absolutely diehards when it comes to the Jets. Now, the Jets were in the NHL in the 1980s and then eventually moved to Phoenix as the Phoenix Coyotes in 1996. But then in 2011, the Atlanta Thrashers came to the Peg, and now we have one of the more passionate NHL markets out there. They're doing okay right now, but they might have a couple of bumps in the road before they can be a real contender in the NHL once again. Our next team is the Buffalo Sabres. Kind of like the Coyotes, if you want the ultimate underdog, cheer for the Sabres. Now, Buffalo sports fans are among the most diehard hockey fans and diehard sports fans in North America. The Sabres haven't made the playoffs in the last decade plus, but
this is really I don't know. Like a class session. You know what I mean? I feel like a class session. I don't got much to say. I'm just here.
Those Sabres fans will watch the Stanley Cup playoffs nonetheless and produce some of the best TV ratings for any sports market in the country. So very passionate fan base, especially when it comes to football, man. The Buffalo Bills, the Bills Mafia, where they'll jump onto picnic tables from the roofs of their car. I don't know why the hell they do this, but apparently these guys they crush beers, they crush tables, and they crush their passion for hockey. This team is going to be rebuilding for the next few years, but they have a couple of franchise cornerstones in the making with guys like Rasmus Dahlin and also Owen Power, who they drafted first overall recently. Buffalo is one team that really needs a Stanley Cup. They have a lot of heart, those fans, and I'm always sort of rooting for them when they're contending for a playoff position. All right, next up we have the Philadelphia Flyers. Speaking of passionate fans, oh boy, Philadelphia sports fans are f***ing nuts, to be honest with you. The Eagles fans in particular, I don't really see too many reports of Flyers fans misbehaving too poorly at games, but Eagles fans, they'll throw batteries at you if you're wearing the jersey of the opposing team.
Oh, wow.
These guys are absolutely diehards. They are fanatics. They are nutso, completely nuts. They, of course, have the greatest mascot in all of sports with Gritty, who everybody just panned when he was revealed, but that was the point. They wanted to make just an absolute kind of anti-hero mascot, and that has certainly, I think, birthed a lot of hockey fans who have been following this team. Philly hasn't won the Stanley Cup since 1975, and so they are kind of long overdue. They've made the finals a couple of times since then, and in my lifetime in particular, but they're going to be a few years away from getting back to that. But if you like crazy shit in sports, I think Philly is the place for you. All right, next up, the Toronto Maple Leafs. I can't not laugh. So the reason why I laugh there is because the Maple Leafs are the butt of a lot of jokes in the hockey community.
That's tough.
They haven't won a Stanley Cup since 1967, so they're obviously over 50 years, but they have won 13 in their history.
Sound like the Knicks. New York, good old Knicks.
One of the oldest franchises, of course. They also haven't won a playoff series since 2004, and when they've been in the lead in a playoff series in recent years, they've kind of choked that away, so they have this reputation as chokers, but they are historic. They have beautiful jerseys, and they have just a huge fan base being in Toronto. A lot of people don't really like that, though, because the media just kowtows to the Leafs versus other Canadian teams out there. So anyway, if you want to cheer for a team with lots of fans, if you want to go to a big metropolis like Toronto one day, yeah, you could cheer for the Toronto Maple Leafs, I guess. But that said,
so it really sound like the New York Knicks. That's what that sounds like to me.
They have a lot of very talented players and have made the playoffs the last several seasons. All right, next up, we've got the New York Islanders. So the Islanders are
Wow,
now playing
New York right after us,
UBS
New York Knicks.
Arena. Finally, they got themselves a new arena. They've won 4 Stanley Cups in the 1980s, actually, 80 to 83, but they haven't won a cup since then. They've got real passionate fans. I have certainly learned that over the years as somebody who usually follows teams on the West Coast, but these guys on the East Coast are pretty passionate for their Islanders, absolutely. They've been knocking on the Stanley Cup final door a couple of years in a row here. They've got one of the best coaches in hockey in Barry Trotz, but unfortunately they're having a down year this year, and they are a little long in the tooth in some positions out there. So I'm not exactly sure how competitive they'll be the next couple of years, but I think that this year is kind of a fluke for them in a bad way. Next up, we've got the Tampa Bay Lightning, and you would certainly be jumping on the bandwagon right now because they won the last 2 Stanley Cups. They have some of the best players at their position in the world, and guys like Andrei Vasilevsky, the best goaltender in the world. Victor Hedman is among the best defensemen perennially. Steven Stamkos is having a terrific year. Nikita Kucherov, he hasn't been playing so much this year, but he's among the best wingers in the game as well. Tampa's a really fun place to watch.
Bro, that save behind the back, the way he looked. I'll never forget that. That was ridiculous.
Game. It's a cool city from what I've seen. I've only been there for a day, but I went to a Lightning game and I had a great time. Fans are really chill there. That's what I've learned, and probably in Florida altogether. Tampa could challenge for another Stanley Cup for the next couple of years, I would think. And then after that, they're probably going to have to rebuild and retool because they're just not getting a lot of draft picks. But Tampa Bay, the Lightning capital of the United States, fun place to watch a game, cool, chill fans. You can't go wrong, really, but you'd be a bandwagoner for sure.
Heard you.
All right, next up, Montreal Canadiens. Now, the most historic franchise in the NHL.
Montreal.
24 Stanley Cups, by far the most.
Huh?
But historic franchise in the NHL. They've won 24 Stanley Cups.
Dang! Oh my gosh.
Far the most, but
That's
they haven't
ridiculous.
won a Stanley Cup since 1993. They went on a very surprising run this past season, but this year they really have hit rock bottom as a franchise, and they're going to be rebuilding for a number of years. So kind of an interesting dichotomy here. You've got history and pedigree on one end, and you've got an abyss on the other side. They do have a couple of good franchise players in the making with guys like Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield. Carey Price has been one of the best goaltenders over the past decade plus, but we don't even know if he's going to continue his career. And what's especially cool about the Habs is that all their media and their broadcasts are in 2 different languages, of course, in English and in Canadian French, Quebecois.
I thought I was tripping. I'm like, yo, why is the screen shaking so much? It's his camera hunting like crazy. It's hunting. Hunting's when like it's trying to focus on you, but then it's trying to focus on there's other things too, so it's just hunting. Like it's trying to decide what to focus on. So you see it like the corners.
The Red Wings,
it's like
another original 6
really
team. When you think of the Red Wings, you think of
I thought my monitor was shaking. Like I was having
Gordie Howe. You think of Ted Lindsay. You think of Nick
the Red
Lidstrom,
Wings,
one of the best defensemen of all time, who's now helping run the organization alongside Steve Yzerman, who won a couple of cups with the franchise as well.
And
the Red Wings have been in the basement the past few years, but they've been turning things around as early as this year with some of their younger talent like Lucas Raymond and Moritz Seider. So the Red Wings are starting to get competitive again. They're starting to look like a fun team to watch out there too. I've seen plenty of highlights from them this year. And Red Wings fans are great hockey fans. They call Detroit Hockey Town for a reason. The next team is the Chicago Blackhawks, and usually I would talk about reasons why you should be a fan or consider being a fan. But just amid all of their sexual assault and sexual abuse scandals that have surfaced in recent memory, I would just stay away from them, honestly. They are a very historic franchise, and they've been successful, and they have great fans, no doubt. Hawks fans, I'm not going to criticize you for being a fan of that team. It's just if I'm getting into an NHL team right now, I'm gonna steer clear from them. Next team is the New Jersey Devils, a good sort of underdog team to root for. They've been kind of crappy the last several years, I would have to say.
That's tough.
But before that, they were actually very successful. From 1995 to 2003, they won 3 Stanley Cups. Very competitive in that period.
Yeah, it sounds like I might go with the Hurricanes, man. I think I might just, you know what I mean, stay on that road right there. So far, no other teams really caught my attention, and I feel like there's no really, honestly, to be truthful with you, there's just no better team to root for than your own hometown. Now I don't judge anyone who don't root for their hometown, you know what I mean, for sure I don't, you know what I mean, but from where I'm from, you know what I mean, it's just positive city, you know what I mean, good state to live in. You know, and the teams like the Hornets, they're not like, I don't know how you say it, they're not like the Orlando Magic. You feel me? Or like they always have a star, whether it's Kemba Walker back then, going into LaMelo Ball now. Like they always have that one player that could really like do something. Well, not always, but you know, it's always been a entertaining team to watch, a fun team to watch. Back when Baron Davis was on the squad, you feel me? Eddie Jones, like it's always been a fun team to watch, man. You know what I mean? So I messed with North Carolina, the Panthers. You know what I mean? When Cam Newton was on there, right? So I just messed with the city overall, and yeah, it makes sense to go with the Hurricanes.
Just about 20
so I might go for that. Yeah, we'll see.
But it's been a while since they've been really good. They're kind of in that shadow of the New York Rangers and the New York Islanders, so they do kind of fall in under the radar. But they are the Devils, wearing those red and black jerseys. Certainly a cool brand to follow, and yeah, a team that you might want to get on board with, because who knows, they could be pretty electric in the next few years. It's going to take a little while though. Next up, we've got the Vancouver Canucks, kind of like the Buffalo Sabres. They've been around since 1970.
Who's on the Canucks? I know someone's on the Canucks. Somebody's on the Canucks. I know. He's not in my head right now.
Those Stanley Cups, they are kind of a heartbreak sort of team. So if you want to ride that sort of roller coaster of emotions, maybe the Canucks are the team for you. There are some great Canucks content creators here on YouTube, including Geo, aka Lego Rocks 99. There's Canuck Clay. And there's also the hockey guy Shannon, who covers the whole NHL, but is a Canucks fan at heart. So great, passionate fan base. Certainly can be a little crazy at times, we have to say. But the Canucks are certainly a cornerstone to hockey in Canada. All right, our next team are the Colorado Avalanche. Kind of like the Panthers, if you want to jump on a bandwagon and root for a team that should win a Stanley Cup or multiple Stanley Cups in the next few years, it has to be Colorado. These guys are absolutely unbeatable at home, or at least in the regular season. They have some of the most exciting players in the NHL, kind of like the Oilers, who I was talking about earlier. Nathan MacKinnon is one of the most exciting forwards to watch in the NHL. And then you have Cale Makar, the most exciting defenseman to watch in the NHL. Maybe the most exciting
both defenseman. Of them. I didn't know they was on the same squad.
We've ever seen since maybe, I don't know, Paul Coffey or so. So these guys can score it well. They can put up a ton of goals.
At that time.
Great home atmosphere. Denver is a beautiful city. I haven't been there as an adult yet, but I really want to go check that out. A lot of places to ski and hike and do all sorts of outdoor things. So if you're outdoorsy, you want to root for a team that's electric and fun to watch, and will be fun to watch for the next several years, the Avs would definitely be that team. The Dallas Stars are the next team. Now with the Stars, they're in Texas, which is not a traditional hockey market, but they do have a lot of passionate fans out there. I've heard Stars games are actually a lot of fun. I would say with the Stars, if you're not trying to root for a team that's going to compete for a Stanley Cup every year, if your expectations can be pretty modest, being a Stars fan would be pretty fun, because it's not like the fan base is getting all hypercritical of their team. It's not like the media is going to be drilling into the Dallas Stars specifically out there. If there's any team they're going to criticize, it's the Cowboys. So really, the Stars are in a good sports market. They got good fans. I've never really explored Dallas all that much. I almost got hit in a car, but that was just about it. Other than that, they've got that great victory.
That's a fire jersey right there, bro. That's fire.
Green, they've got the Pantera goal song, which is the best goal song in the NHL. And Shannon, thank you for agreeing with me there. And yeah, overall, just a even keel sort of franchise that you can get on board with. Next team, Nashville Predators. So the Preds are the team to root for if you like to party, man. I've been to a Preds game on a Monday, and it was rocking. It's so fun to go to a game there because people are just loud and proud. They're wearing those Nashville Predators yellow jerseys. Yeah, the Preds fans are noisy. A lot of people think that they're annoying, and I can sort of understand why, but it's fun. It's just a fun atmosphere. They're right next to Broadway in downtown Nashville. That's where all these great music bars are. They've got all sorts of, blues and jazz and, of course, country music and rock. And yeah, it's just one of the more fun sort of city cores that you can explore there. So Nashville is a team that I would certainly recommend getting into, and the team has been really good over the past couple of decades since they entered the NHL. They're seemingly in the playoffs every year, and when they're the lower seeded team, they can often complete an upset. All right, next team, the Carolina Hurricanes. Kind of like the Predators, if I'm getting into the NHL for the first time, I would consider cheering for either of those two fan bases. The Hurricanes are fundamentally among the best NHL teams the past couple of years. They were really not that great for about a decade there, but with Rod Brind'Amour and some of the young talent guys like Sebastian Aho, a Finnish player, Andrei Svechnikov from Russia, this team is going to compete for a Stanley Cup for the next few years. They have some great prospects in their system as well. Now, I've never been to Raleigh, but the past couple of years, they've built a very raucous environment there, and whoever runs their Twitter is among the best social media specialists in sports because these guys like to just roast everybody. They like to make fun of every team, especially the Predators in the playoffs. That was pretty darn funny. And the Hurricanes are known in the hockey community as the bunch of jerks because at the end of every game, every victory, I think, all of the players will band together at center ice and lead the sort of Viking, the Team Iceland sort of storm surge clap thing. Anyway, really fun. Certainly a non-traditional market, but this team could be due for a Stanley Cup, and who knows? They can build a great community of fans out there too.
Hey.
All right, next team.
I'm convinced. I'm a Hurricane, man. I'm just going to go with that, man. I'm just going for the Hurricanes, bro. Like I said, don't get no better than that, man. You know what I mean? Rooting for, like, and Carolinas be so, people look at both South Carolina and North Carolina. South Carolina more. You know what I mean? They be overlooked. You feel me? A lot of great, you know what I mean? Not just like sports, but just like overall like success come out from both Carolinas, man. You know what I mean? And I'm proud to be from there. You feel me? So, and North Carolina, one of the best hoop states in the daggone country, man. Come on, man. We're not going to get on that, but you know what I mean?
Ottawa Senators.
You know what I mean?
Again, kind of like the Coyotes and like the Buffalo Sabres. If you want to cheer for an underdog, the Senators are definitely it, especially being in the shadow of kind of Toronto and Montreal, the big markets there in Canada. The Senators have a lot of good young talent. So these guys could be good next year or maybe 2 years from now versus like Arizona, who's going to take like
dope jerseys too. Those are dope,
so the
dope
Senators
jerseys too.
are run by kind of a kooky owner in Eugene.
Yo, why you making that face, bro?
They don't play in the city of Ottawa. They actually play in the suburb of, I think, Canada. Is that what it's called? However, these guys are actually the second incarnation of the Ottawa Senators. So if you like history, the original Ottawa Senators won a few Stanley Cups of their own. They folded in 1934. So there is some history to this franchise in a sense. Two more teams here. So we have the New York Rangers, and man, these guys have become one of the more exciting clubs to watch in the NHL. The Rangers have the fewest Stanley Cups of the original 6 teams, but they made a miraculous run in 1994. They have very exciting players to watch, guys like Artemi Panarin, Mika Zibanejad, Adam Fox on the blue line. Igor Shesterkin is going to be one of the elite goaltenders of the NHL. They play at Madison.
I know how many people wanted me to react to this dude. I'm like, bro, I tried. I literally made a video when I tried to do it, and his best video was on the NHL channel, and NHL blocked me, bro. You know what I mean? So if I make another video that's not on NHL, bro, I'm reacting to the same saves. You know what I mean? Because the NHL had his best saves on there. You feel me? So it's like, you know, I know y'all want to see it, but missed it, man.
Square Garden, perhaps the most iconic arena.
Is what it is. You know what I mean? The struggles of being a content creator, man. You know what I mean? Especially when you reacting. Not a lot of people like it when you react.
In the NHL and
all
all
of
of sports
like that.
In North America, the Bell Center would certainly be there
And I get
form, I would have to say as well.
So I don't be tripping
the blue
about
shirts, great, just overall hockey tradition.
Just for y'all, just for y'all to know. Just for y'all to know.
Especially when they bust out that Statue of Liberty jersey. Hopefully they do that next year too. And they're in Manhattan, so you'll never run out of things to do or see. A bit of sensory overload for somebody like myself.
And
but
New York is a great city to visit. You know what I mean? My mom's from New York. She's from Trinidad. She's born in Trinidad, raised in New York though. You know what I mean? In Brooklyn. Phenomenal city. I just don't want to live there. Oh man, beautiful city to visit for sure. You know what I mean? And you want to live there, I can see why. Like it's you got the the traffic, the driving, the honking. It can get a little rough. It get a little overwhelming for a person, right? The constant busyness. But when you just look at the city for what it is, bro, just for what it is, and like the history of it, and like the city of dreams, and the opportunities, like it is really a break or make there. You go there, you might not make it, but you might make it too. You feel me? So, but it is a beautiful city, man. I'm just not a city boy like that. To be in New York, I'm straight. You know what I mean? Out here, I'm in the South. You know what I mean? I'm from Greensboro, but I was raised here in Atlanta, right? Went to school here, elementary to high school. You feel me? So, yeah, but I like Greensboro. I love how Atlanta is. Like, I'm a local boy. You feel me? I like seeing some trees every now and then. I like the land with the grass. You feel me? Like you feel me?
A lot of city folk will have a wonderful time going to a New York Rangers game and just checking out that overall vicinity. And our last team is the LA
I love
Kings,
Atlanta
so
City
they're playing
too.
right there in downtown Los Angeles. They've won a couple of Stanley Cups of their own in miraculous fashion, I will have to say, in 2012 and 2014. They have a couple of wonderful prospects in their system. Guys like Quentin Byfield and Alex Turcotte come to mind. This team could be really, really freaking good about 2 or 3 years from now.
Okay.
They should be in the playoffs this season. Of course, they're in downtown LA, so if you like celebrity culture, this might be the team for you.
Oh, you said it like that.
Will Ferrell show up to games, all sorts of celebrities, Snoop Dogg as well. And if you're in town, you could see the Los Angeles Lakers in the same arena, or the Clippers. You can go to a Dodgers game if it's the right time of year. And so, yeah, the Kings, they've been around since 1967. They have quite a tradition to them as well, and they should be a team to really reckon with in the next couple of years. So for all our new fans out there, which team are you going to cheer for? I want to know your thoughts in the comments below.
All right, man. Hey, I appreciate this dude right here, man. You know what I mean? Appreciate this dude for breaking it down. I literally just typed in NHL teams explained. You know what I mean? And this dude was like the second video that popped up. Like it was one video that was like pretty long. Well, both of these videos are long, but that video was longer than this one. You know what I mean? And his was second. So I was like, okay, let me just look at this. But I'm not sure there was a better video. You know what I mean? The product had like a more hype intro into teams that's like more shorter. Right? I just picked a video, and this is the video I picked. And we got through it, man. We got through it, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, I feel like I was in a class session, bro. No knock on him. I just how I feel whenever it comes to like informative type of videos, especially if I'm reacting. I feel like I'm in a class session, but like a Zoom call, like type stuff. But yeah, no, it was good to learn about the teams, man. I feel like the sport, definitely deserves that. If I'm going to react to a certain sport for a good minute, it's only right to know the teams. You feel me? It's only right. So yeah, but I'm gonna be a Hurricane, man. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be a Hurricane. I'm gonna root for the Hurricane. That's what it's gonna be, man. You know what I mean? So, but I'm glad I was able to give the chance to see the other teams. But if it wasn't the Hurricanes, it would probably be the Capitals. Cause like I said, Ovechkin. You know what I mean? But yeah, we're going for the Hurricanes, man. I mess with the vibes of Carolina, and you just can't get no better than that, in my opinion, man. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. Yeah, like every time I hear someone talk about they from North Carolina, bro, I light up, bro. Even South Carolina. My dad's from South Carolina. You know what I mean? Orangeburg. So every time I hear people talk about these places that whether I'm from, my dad's from, my mom's from, I light up. You feel me? So it really is dope. Even here in Atlanta, you know what I mean? Obviously, I'm here in Atlanta, so I'm going to meet people that's from here. Like, I don't really meet much folks that's from anywhere else that moved down here. But Atlanta's a great city too, man. You know what I mean? A lot of great folks. A lot of scams too. You got some scammers over here in Atlanta. I ain't gonna lie. Some you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Type stuff. You feel me? Don't be in certain locations that, you feel me? But that's anywhere too. That's anywhere. So yeah. That's gonna do it right here, bro. Like dang. How long is this? Oh my gosh, y'all. Y'all might as well get some popcorn. Get some popcorn. Get some popcorn and you know what I mean, just kick it. You know what I mean? Chillax, drinks, all that. But that's gonna do it right here, man. I hope y'all enjoyed. Was a hurricane, man. Like I said, I'm not going to be, because I say I'm a hurricane. I'm rooting for the Hurricanes. You know what I mean? Does not mean I'm gonna know every single game the Hurricanes play. Does not mean I'm gonna keep up like that. Like I said, I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna try my best. You feel me? But I don't want to stress myself out. Like that's not what this channel is about. This channel is about the entertainment factor. It could be factual. It could be informative. That's not my category. That's not my lane. My lane is entertaining, right? The flashiness, right? Reacting to the oohs and ahs, the funny moment, like all that. All that's me. You feel me? I'm not trying to turn into a super one of them sports channels that's like super into like, you know, they like basketball heads or hockey heads or football heads, where they just make, you know, highlight overview discussions over the past. No, that's not this channel. That's not this channel. You feel me? I am planning on reacting to other stuff. You feel me? Really, you know, just to have fun. You know what I mean? Have fun. There's other stuff to react to that I have never seen. You know what I mean? Just like how I first never seen hockey, you know, and having to see how entertaining this sport is. You never know how entertaining the other things, not just sports, but just other things can be. You feel me? So yeah, that could be trying not to laugh. That could be gym fails. That could be you know, I don't know, WWE racing. I don't know, you know what I mean? But just to venture out, it's never bad to do that. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's gonna do it, man. That's gonna do it. Also, I'll make another video on it. But hope y'all enjoyed. Woo, man, that was a long time. But I definitely am a whole lot informative about these other teams. Like when someone say the Blues, I'll be like St. Louis. Ha! I know that place. Never been to it, but I know it. I bet. Hope y'all enjoy. Stay well, stay healthy, stay blessed. Love us very much, man. Peace. I am out. Woo!